Jeffrey Epstein was transporting Juliet. He was announcing his eugenics plans to the world. He spoke to several scientists as well as a financial advisor about his plans to seed the human race with his DNA. Specifically, he wanted to impregnate up to 20 women at a time at Zorro Ranch. Exactly. And this was reported by the New York Times in 2011. So one of the scientists he spoke to, I'm trying to remember his name now. It'll come to me, Roger Schank. He said to Roger Schank, if I only contribute my sperm and my money, will my progeny turn out like me? And Roger Schank remembers this conversation, and he advised Jeffrey Epstein to stop, to safeguard his genetic investment by preventing the woman that he impregnated from forming relationships with other men. There was another scientist that also spoke to Epstein's genetics plans, virtual reality pioneer Jaron Lennon. His name will also, I'm terrible with names. His name will come to me. He had dinner at Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion. And at that dinner, he noticed that there were a lot of attractive, highly accomplished women. He spoke to one lady who apparently worked for NASA. And they spoke about Epstein's eugenics plans and impregnating women at Zorro Ranch. And he then told the New York Times that he was left with the lasting impression that Epstein was using this event to screen certain women to be potential candidates to act, to be childbearing vessels for his eugenics program. The Guardian also said that Epstein was supposedly inspired by Robert Craig Graham, who is a businessman and eugenicist, who started the Repository for Germinal Choice. In about 1980, Graham announced his plans to the world to create a sperm bank stocked mainly with Nobel laureate sperm. Yes, according to Slate, he only managed to convince a handful to contribute their sperm, maybe 3 to 5 Nobel laureates, depending on who they spoke to. But he very much shielded this project from public scrutiny because he housed it in an underground bunker in the backyard of his ranch in San Diego, California. Now, this has deep parallels with Epstein's eugenics program because we believe that, I believe that there were underground facilities. When I say we, Juliet and I believe that there were underground facilities at Zorro Ranch where this event, where her flashback took place. So going back to the repository, Robert K. Graham was a eugenicist. His plan was very controversial. The repository was very controversial. There was an LA Times journalist that uncovered that one of the donors, William Shockley, was a known eugenicist and racist, had actually contributed his sperm. The BBC also uncovered that the parents of the first baby born had previously been charged for child abuse. Despite this, 217 babies were born to this repository, and it eventually closed down after about 2 decades in 1999. Reports say that the sperm was incinerated, but I looked at Epstein's actions around that time, and that's exactly when he was expanding Zorro Ranch and expanding the facilities at Zorro Ranch. So I believe that this project could have just been moved across to Zorro Ranch, because this is the time he started talking about his plans to seed the human race with his DNA. But who's to say he wasn't getting scientists on board to contribute? He formed many, he was sponsoring scientists, he was courting them. So he could have succeeded where Graham failed.
Good grief, I think we're all getting chills, Sarah. I mean, we've been interviewing people about Epstein for, what, 5-6 years now? And you have certainly unearthed some of the more macabre details that we've never heard before. So, we salute you for that, because we've got to shine a light on this.